Data collaboration is absolutely the name of the game right now. I think for our supplier partners, they're looking for more insight, they're looking for deeper insight, and they're also trying to make sense of a fairly complex mosaic when it comes to retail media in general. So being able to collaborate, being able to be that partner that brings trust and transparency to bear is absolutely critical. But it also, to your point, really benefits our shoppers on the other end, right? The more we can be relevant, the more we can drive value through content and through personalization, the better we can be for our shoppers and really inspiring that moment. So data collaboration right now, I'd say it's certainly the linchpin in being really successful for both the retail media and for the retail side of the business.
So retail media has been a real driver of clean rooms over the last few years. Liz, can you give me a sense of how the role of clean rooms is evolving in the retail media context?
Yeah, absolutely. Retail media right now is, again, that more complex mosaic that we're looking at. So bringing clean room into the equation and being able to really partner in that privacy safe environment is critical for our partners to be able to make big decisions. And for us, we want to take on some of that complexity, right? If retail media is too complex and it takes you too long to make a decision, that doesn't behoove any of us and it doesn't behoove our shoppers. So being able to bring more data into a privacy safe environment, being able to bring transparency and trust to bear helps our partners make better decisions faster and ultimately benefits our shoppers on the other side.
So Liz, jumping off from that privacy safe environment that retailers and shoppers and brands really consider such an elemental part of the system, wanted to know how retailers have access to this incredibly rich amount of first-party data, and how do you walk partners through the ways of connecting across channels from CTV, digital, and in-store?
Cross-channel is, of course, the big topic, I'd say, around Groceryshop this year. This is what I'm hearing about. How do I measure cross-channel? And I think for us, retail media was always seen as this low funnel conversion driver. And it is that, don't get me wrong. We're built on a bed of very, very high fidelity first party data at Albertsons specifically, right? We have 47 million loyalty members. We see over 500 million trips a year. So we're definitely in that realm of having rich first party data. Being able to connect cross-channel becomes a little bit more complex. What I'm hearing Groceryshop this year is a lot more about experimentation. Where can we start deploying campaigns where we're incorporating more channels, where we're doing more audience experimentation? Maybe we're looking at universal holdouts, or maybe we're looking at geo controls, but bringing all these things to bear to understand, hey, where does 1 + 1 = 3, and where can we drive really low funnel efficiency by playing all throughout the funnel, upper funnel, mid funnel, et cetera.
So that experimentation attitude is obviously an important one, particularly for retail media and everyone. But wanted your sense of how the industry is kind of moving along the idea of cross-functional data strategies, and why is that so important?
Well, you need to remember that at Albertsons Media Collective, we are retailer first, and our primary job is to sell units and to delight our shoppers in the store, right? So for us, being able to connect all of the data sources across the enterprise is extraordinarily important, because we want to make sure that we're servicing the retail side of the business and that we're using media to drive that. When I think about retail as an industry, retail media is a slice of the flywheel that really drives shopper behavior. So we need to make sure there's a lot of interconnectivity between merch, so we understand pricing and promo and merch strategy, and we can amplify that through media. We don't want to be too myopic and just focus on media, although of course it's definitely what my major is. I want to make sure that we're connected across the enterprise to drive the most value.
So I wanted to circle back to the role of data collaboration, and wanted to know what innovations, if any, you're keeping an eye on in the year ahead.
I'm always looking at new channels, and I'm always looking at new models. So again, as retail media is starting to stretch outside of the one-to-one, very, very tight closed loop measurement that happens in the digital space, and as we start moving up funnel, we need to explore more models, right? We need to start understanding what's happening in those maybe less traceable places. Talk digital out of home, maybe talk linear TV, even CTV in some ways to get that scale. So I'm really curious to see how both our partners and how we bring more models into the equation to understand the efficacy of these channels working together. To me, that's kind of the next wave and what's going to be really important moving into next year.